Jon Jones was talking about how he was like, I just had to show up every day. And I got a new group of training partners.
Yeah.
And they're holding me accountable. And I just had to show up. Yeah. And so that reminded me of that.
He also said one thing. He was like surrounding himself around like certain men, you know?
Yep.
Because I don't know if you know too much about Jon Jones, but he used to be
fighting this weekend, by the way.
If you didn't know.
Dave the promoter here.
Dave the promoter.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you know, he used to be a crazy partier, you know?
Yeah.
Got in a lot of trouble, and I think this fight, he was mentioning how like he surrounded himself around a different group of men that really helped him.
It's like,
and I was like, that's so true, you know. Surround yourself, which our parents have been telling us since how old.
Right.
Surround yourself around people you want to be like, but.
Exactly, man.
Your environment definitely creates you.
For sure.
But going back to that, I feel like it's so important to have good people in your corner, and I feel like McGregor didn't have good people in his corner for like the past like couple years. I feel like, you know, they've too much on the party side, right? Kind of like what Jon Jones was doing. And on the other hand, we saw Khabib, like, bro, he had straight soldiers and like beasts in his corner, bro. Like his camp compared to McGregor's camp, like their essence were just different. Like, you know what I'm saying?
They come from Dagestan, Russia, the mountains. So there's like nothing up there, and they're all very religious men. They follow Islam, and they were following their father too, who's teaching them all. And there's some really good content, you know, their camps and
good stories. Yeah,
it's funny you mentioned that because there's this one channel on YouTube called Anatomy of a Fighter.
I've seen it. Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
And so one of their most popular videos is that fight between Khabib and Conor. And it detailed, like, they did an episode each day before the fight. And it was like a UFC embedded, but this guy was doing it. And you can just see, like, the dynamic, the change. Like, Conor is, like, I mean, he had a crazy rise to fame, double champ.
Oh, yeah.
And then Khabib is, like, puts his head down. And one of the things about Islam is you're not supposed to, the ego's, you need to calm that down, and it's all for God, and you can really tell that with him. But man, McGregor though is like
legend.
He definitely paved the way, bro. If you charted that shit like on like a chart, like McGregor fucking skyrocketed, and he's still so hot. His stock price is still so high that even these guys they can't catch up. Like he moonshot.
Did the one thing that no other UFC fighter was doing, and it was talked a lot of shit. You know,
backing it up.
That's what everyone wants to see. They just want to see a crazy guy talk shit and knock some people's head off. That's all they want to see.
And having that swag, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. He was the first person to wear like suits to a press conference.
That's right.
They were all, they're all dressing in sweats.
He changed
this
the
guy
game.
shows up in a tuxedo suit.
He did so much for the UFC. He did so much for the UFC. Like, you put it on his back, basically.
Yeah, Dana, I mean, gives him any fight he wants, gets a layoff. And so now he's doing the Ultimate Fighter show. And we'll be interested to see. I don't know if y'all have ever watched that.
If he could come back and get a win.
I've watched it since I was like 8 years old.
Dude, I love it too, man. I watched...
When it was on Spike. He used to be on Spike.
Okay.
You remember that channel, Spike?
When Joe Rogan was on Spike, huh?
Joe Rogan was on Spike, too.
They had like 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah.
Remember that show?
Yeah, dude, that show used to come back.
Yeah,
that show was good, man.
That hardcore shit. What we got nowadays? Some bullshit.
But I don't know. Do y'all think McGregor's done, though? Do you think he's over the hill?
I think he needs to win a fight because he hasn't won a fight since Obama was last president. So realistically, statistically, he needs to get a win, or like it was just a moonshot and then just sell off.
I mean, either way,
respectfully,
people are gonna tune into that guy.
But
you know?
I
whether
love
he's boxing, whether he's doing MMA, people want to watch the guy. People they like watching the guy talk.
Yeah.
You know,
because it's his image, it's his persona, his swagger.
He's a brand.
His confidence. I love confident people, bro. Like, and like seeing McGregor just talk his shit, and then back it up and like do it in a fashion, bro. That's the essence.
Absolutely. But on the other hand, like, I like Khabib more because what he did was he didn't talk shit.
Yeah.
And he manhandled McGregor.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
And then he went a little too far, jumped out of the ring, tried to fight Dylan Dennis.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it. If a guy talks about your dad, talks about your religion, talks about your family.
That's a part of Islam. It's called jihad, where you're supposed to defend yourself, but not in excess. But I mean, he apologized, but that was crazy. Did y'all watch that live?
Yeah, live.
That was insane. That whole fight, and then when he jumped over the ring, it was like, oh my god.
I mean, he probably like built that, like it was
Bro.
just all built up in him, and after he was just going.
It's
crazy,
not even.
You're
probably.
only human.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's like the whole build up to the fight, the pre-fight, the fight, the post-fight. It was like, bro, never gonna happen again. He threw a fucking chair through the bus.
Yes.
And went to jail.
Yep.
Got locked up.
Not even that. He
And then
took a private jet with like 15 of his friends just to do that.
Drunky.
Crazy.
Y'all hear about the story about Hamzat Chimaev?
Oh, he's crazy.
He's awesome.
He
I
might
like
be
him.
goated.
I like
Yeah.
the guy.
He's a killer.
You watch a lot of UFC, Jack?
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's like my favorite sport.
That's like, I can watch basketball, I can watch football, but like there's nothing that keeps me more glued to the TV than like two dudes beating the shit out of each other.
I know,
I don't
right?
know why. I don't know why. Maybe I'm crazy. But
Are you into the power slap?
So I haven't actually watched it. I've seen clips on Instagram. That shit's crazy. Like just letting some dude just hit you
It is crazy.
with your hands behind your back.
It's almost
a little
like
wild.
they're crossing the line a little bit.
Yeah, a little
Because
bit.
it's not. I definitely don't think it's as entertaining as the UFC.
Yeah, no action.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's action. There's action.
I haven't seen it, to be honest. I haven't seen
I
it,
just
to
don't
be
know if
honest.
everyone wants to watch it like they want to watch.
Yeah.
You can't
UFC.
defend yourself. You're just like getting up there and then someone's smacking the shit out of you.
Fuck.
I don't think it's as like gruesome as people make it seem like,
But it's just straight headshots.
People get slapped.
It's just-
Yeah.
That's the bad thing about it. Like you talking all that shit. You got football players getting hit in the head. This is like fucking kind of worse than that. No.
People get slapped
It's
every
bad.
day. Fuck it.
But Jon Jones coming back. So I wanted to make a point about steroids in the UFC. So Conor McGregor is one of Dana White's favorite fighters, right?
For sure.
Think about it. He's brought the UFC so much revenue. Okay.
Love
You got
So-
that Dana White privilege.
Got that leverage.
As
Tony Ferguson.
Tony
Yeah.
Ferguson said, yeah, Dana
Hell
White
yeah.
privilege.
It's a UFC podcast.
Yeah. We're turning into MMA podcast
Yeah,
now.
that's a good idea.
But what I was saying though is Conor, brought all this money to the UFC and then he breaks his ankle, right? And so I'm not 100% sure on this, but there's probably a clause in the UFC rules where you're injured, you're out of the fight pool, you're not being tested by USADA. You're not being tested for steroids, for performance enhancing drugs. And so Conor McGregor, did you see all those pictures of him?
Oh, yeah. He's definitely on that
Like
shit.
190
yeah.
pounds, like
yeah.
ripe, looks like a fucking
And
tomato.
let's be honest, those steroids will help his body heal to its potential.
100%.
I mean, you see his neck? You see his
100%.
fucking neck?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
He's like getting pissed, like punching old men.
I don't know if you know who Joey Diaz is, but I mean, of
Yeah.
course you know Joe. If you watch
Bro,
Joe Rogan, you know who Joey Diaz is. But he was saying something about Brock Lesnar. He's like, he's giving you shit that makes your neck grow. Like he's taking shit that makes your neck grow.
That's when you know.
Yeah, that's when you know. If you see
That-
someone whose neck is a little bigger than the last time you saw him, they're on that shit.
Damn.
Don't mess with them.